You've probably seen the electrifying first look of Namit Malhotra's Ramayana Part 1, and let's be honest, it looks massive. With Nitesh Tiwari directing and a dream cast featuring Ranbir Kapoor as Rama, Sai Pallavi as Sita, Yash as Ravana and Sunny Deol as Hanuman, this could very well be India's most ambitious cinematic epic. But today on The Fourth Wall, we go beyond the hype. We are diving into three critical pillars that define this legend. First, the jaw-dropping $500 million budget. How does that stack up against Indian titans like Baahubali? Second, the scale and stakes of bringing the Ramayana's epic world to global screens. And third, and most important, Ravana's characterization. Is he truly driven by revenge, as the trailer suggests? Or is his engine something far darker, like desire? We'll explore that using the original Valmiki Ramayana as our guide. So buckle up, this isn't just a review. This is an epic deconstruction. Let's break the fourth wall. Let's start with the elephant in the room, the budget. Namit Malhotra's Ramayana duology is reportedly backed by a staggering $500 million or roughly 4,300 crore rupees. That's massive, especially for Indian cinema, where budgets rarely cross the $100 million mark. To put this in perspective, let's compare it to the Baahubali duology directed by S.S. Rajmouli, which is often hailed as India's biggest cinematic achievement of the 21st century. Baahubali The Beginning was made on a budget of 180 crores, and Baahubali The Conclusion upped the ante to 250 crores, totaling 430 crores for both films. Now, Ramayana's budget is nearly 10 times that amount. Before we get too carried away with the numbers, let's talk about a concern I have: the music. Hans Zimmer's involvement is a huge win. His scores are legendary. But A.R. Rahman, who's also on board, has me a bit worried. Don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Rahman fan. His work in Lagaan and Dil Se is iconic. But his recent score for Chhaava didn't hit the mark for me. It felt off, like it wasn't vintage Rahman. The Ramayana is no ordinary story. Attributed to sage Valmiki, it's one of India's two great epics alongside the Mahabharata. Written in Sanskrit around the 7th to 4th century BCE, it spans 24,000 couplets across 7 kandas or books, chronicling the life of Lord Rama, the 7th avatar of Vishnu. It's a tale of love, duty, dharma, and the triumph of good over evil. But it's also incredibly complex, with layers of philosophy, morality, and human emotion. Adapting it into a 2-part film is a Herculean task, and the first look suggests Nitesh Tiwari is going big. Think massive war sequences, stunning VFX, and emotional depth. But here's where I pause. The teaser emphasizes power and revenge as central themes, especially tied to Ravana, played by Yash. Now, power. Absolutely, that fits Ravana. He's the mighty king of Lanka, a Rakshasa with 10 heads and immense strength, granted boons by Brahma and Shiva. But revenge. That's where I'm not so sure. The trailer seems to hint that Ravana's actions, particularly his abduction of Sita, are driven by a desire to avenge his sister Surpanakha's humiliation when Lakshmana cut off her nose. This is a common interpretation in some modern retellings, but let's go back to Valmiki's Ramayana to see what the original text says about Ravana's motivations. In Valmiki's Ramayana, Ravana is one of the most complex antagonists in literature. He's not just a villain. He's a learned scholar, a devotee of Shiva, a master of the Vedas, and a formidable warrior who once defeated gods like Indra. But he's also deeply flawed, driven by ego, arrogance, and most crucially, desire. His sister Surpanakha does tell him about her humiliation by Rama and Lakshman, but Ravana's decision to abduct Sita isn't framed as vengeance for his sister. Instead, it's his uncontrollable desire for Sita. There's no mention of revenge here. This isn't to say Ravan lacks depth. Valmiki shows him as a tragic figure, immensely powerful, yet undone by his own flaws. The trailer's focus on revenge might be a creative choice to make Ravan more relatable or sympathetic to modern audiences, but I hope the film stays true to Valmiki's portrayal of Ravan as a man driven by desire, not just vengeance. In conclusion, Ramayana Part 1 is poised to be a landmark in Indian cinema. Its $500 million budget dwarfs even Baahubali, signaling a global ambition that could put Indian epics on the world stage.